It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Steelers and the Vikings, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
Nightfall in Minneapolis in December usually spells freezing temps, and that is precisely the case outside these walls. But we are a comfortable 72 degrees inside U.S. Bank Stadium. The scene a short time ago. This crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at our two quarterbacks in this one, it's really a good matchup when you boil it down. Ben Roethlisberger of the Steelers, Kirk Cousins of the Vikings.
And both of them have terrific ability to improvise, and that means when the first read's not there, how quickly can you go through your progressions? Can you hang in there and take a shot as you release it? Can you buy time outside of the pocket? Can you pull it down and run if need be? I think we'll see all of those traits on display in this one.
Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. This taken in at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here come the Steelers now on offense, led out by a man who's been at the control since 2004. Six-time Pro Bowler, Ben Roethlisberger.
And it's not out of the question, it's not out of the realm at all to wonder if this might be the final season for Big Ben, either in a Steeler uniform or in the NFL period. He re-signed back in March saying, "It's my greatest honor to be a Pittsburgh Steeler and give my all for the organization." Had a big year in 2020, 33 touchdowns, just 10 interceptions, and led the Steelers to an 11-0 start. You have to think that he would love to end his career the way Peyton Manning and John Elway did, hoisting the Lombardi Trophy and heading off into the sunset.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring it down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now, after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Roethlisberger, 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Here's Roethlisberger. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack. What a great job getting pressure here in the first drive. 3 plays and already 2 sacks.
And that pressure has been intense right from the beginning. And I'm telling you, if they don't make an adjustment in play calling and protection, it'll go from intense to relentless.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Well, the Minnesota offense ready to go to work here. Their quarterback in his 10th season overall now, and 4th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
Not bad for a 4th-round draft pick. Well over 100 career starts now. And the chemistry with his top targets, really on point. They spend a lot of time in practice and after practice making sure the routes are run well, and he knows exactly where they're going to be on the field. And when they get open, he delivers.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 46. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. So, Charles, defensively here, you're going up against a veteran quarterback. He's got a lot of know-how, a ton of savvy, but a guy who's not the most mobile of quarterbacks. What's the plan of attack?
You spend all week pumping up your defensive front. Your defensive tackles, your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys who go after the quarterback the most, because you know that he's not going to run and beat you consistently throughout the game. You can rush more aggressively off the edge and even up the middle, because even if he evades you, he's not going to go very far. You have a lot more confidence going after him in the pocket.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing, Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook, and he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this. You have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Oh, that's a very good run there by Najee Harris, who can take it inside. He can get to the perimeter. He can do it all with his build and his speed. This is a guy coming out of Alabama who did everything for the Crimson Tide. That's why Pittsburgh took him in the 1st round. Last in the league in rushing as a team last year were the Steelers. They're expecting Harris to kickstart their running game.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. Second down coming up.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger on the draw. It's Harris. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Now Roethlisberger. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
So much about offense is what we call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. From here, this would have been a 48-yarder, but no, they're going to go for it. They're going for it. This is Harris. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Just enough push up front. He only needed about 6 inches. He didn't get a whole lot more than that.
No, but he made sure he got enough so they didn't have to worry about measuring it or making it even close. Ends up picking up a couple of yards in a situation, as you noted, where he only needed inches.
They go play action now. Roethlisberger. He gets it complete to Harris. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Love the effort. Love the dramatics. Getting the feet down. How about a little step shuffle along the sideline there? Almost like a great ballet dancer or a tap dancer. All for no gain, though?
I was going to say, it's so pretty, and it gets you nothing. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 at the 26-yard line. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
and it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Cousins gives way to Cook.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. To Jefferson on the slant. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. First down, here's the run with Cook. Now Cook hit and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Roethlisberger. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 2nd down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot. A quick burst there and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the Steelers first down.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's Harris. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. It's caught inside the 25. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big connection on that one, 33 yards. After one on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. He's to the 10. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Roethlisberger. And the catch made by Johnson. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Again, it's Johnson.
Roethlisberger's pass complete to Deontay Johnson. 1st and goal at the 10-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Ben to throw again. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. DJ Waddle just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Roethlisberger. He finds his man, complete. That's Harris. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
There certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Boswell's kick is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cousins now. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Cousins. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the 1st down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday you press it a little bit. This might be the case. So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Roethlisberger to throw. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
That was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, down at the 33. Here's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger. Right back to Freiermuth, complete this time. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Completion was given up, and that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line.
Let's go.
And that's why you spend a 1st-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
This is Harris. Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Stocker's got it, complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. To throw, Cousins. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Osborne. They stop it for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. That's Harris. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's a 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
To throw again on 2nd down, Roethlisberger. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They hand this off to Harris. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now it's Roethlisberger. He gets it complete to Harris. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now Roethlisberger. Right side, Claypool's got it. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And here comes Westbrook. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. They start the drive with Cook. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and then maybe a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
On second down, it's Cook again. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
And that's why Dalvin Cook is the Minnesota Vikings featured back. You put the ball in his hands, good things happen. Second in the NFL last year in rushing with 1,557 yards, and that's now back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with 30 combined total touchdowns. What a player is Dalvin Cook.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson, 55 yards. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point splits the uprights, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Ray McLeod to return. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And the Steelers set to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He finds his man, complete. It's Harris. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course, you got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bolt, puts it on the carpet, it's out. But it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. His throw incomplete. Pat Freiermuth, the intended target. 3rd down here. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Roethlisberger will throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. To throw again is Roethlisberger. They shakes him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Sheldon Richardson, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Roethlisberger. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. He's going to try and go deep again. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half for the Steelers. And they've had all sorts of success thus far tonight throwing the football, as they're on pace to throw for 300-plus yards if things continue the way they've been going. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they weren't quite as successful throwing the ball as their counterparts were, but they still were able to move the ball reasonably well in that first half.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 20.
And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Out of the gun, he'll throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds, because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Handoff comes to Cook. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Again, it's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. .31 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 38. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's Roethlisberger. Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Dalvin Tomlinson, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Now it's Roethlisberger. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. So the punt rolls out of bounds, and they'll have pretty good field position here up near the 40-yard line. And the football going back to the Vikings offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 5 now. Cousins able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. They'll get that to Amir Smith-Marset. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 33.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Cousins. And it's nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. On play action, Cousins. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
For the Vikings field goal, a 52-yard attempt.
And did he have enough? He did. He kept it online and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And they bumped the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Joseph now to kick this one away. McLeod now on the return. And he returns this to the 22. And now out come the Steelers. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Starts the drive on the ground. And he takes this up to before being corralled. 51 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Blocking at the point of attack there was very strong. He had a couple of running lanes.
And I never want to overlook the offensive line, but that's what they get paid to do. How about the quarterback? Everyone thinks all he's going to do is throw the football. His movement and deception can help a running game as well.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They put it 1. Now it's Roethlisberger. That's caught by the 6'8" tight end, Zach Gentry. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They go play action with Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Claypool. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 34-yard line.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a 1st down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 34. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Finding room to the 20. And in for the Steelers touchdown. James Washington, 34 yards. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. Boswell good with the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 27.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. First down, here's Cousins. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because it nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. A nice little juke. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or two inside the 45-yard line. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
It was Nick Vigil there on the stop.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 62 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. That's complete to his tight end flyer move. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
On 2nd down, it's Harris. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tackles. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Cousins. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he will have the Vikings first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On 1st down, Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
To throw, Cousins. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. The Vikings on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be third and forever. Cousins now. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. That went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he loses the football a second time.
Najee Harris, the ball carrier. Fumble on the play. Recovered.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Here we go. Wide 80.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Roethlisberger complete. It's Johnson. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On 3rd and 1, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Just a 30-yard punt that time. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. A 40-yard punt, no return.
The Steelers take over first and
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. Got an open man, it's Washington. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
But listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head out of harm's way.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Again, it's Roethlisberger. A throw left side, caught by the tight end Freiermuth. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
But from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
From the 24, Cousins. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Alex Highsmith in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And got his man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. This is intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane. And the Steelers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Westbrook now on the return. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their 38. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And he stopped immediately there. T.J. Watt in on the tackle. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And complete, right side to Cook. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Now Roethlisberger down around his goal line. So no gain on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 10.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He finds his tight end, Gentry. And he'll get this up to right around the 8-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
He gets this one to Johnson. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee. And that means 4th down. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
The Steelers send out their punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Cousins. Stocker's got it, complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 3rd down, Cousins Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Cousins now to throw on first down. He sets to fire deep. And this one is incomplete. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Looking long for Westbrook. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Cousins. And this nearly intercepted. Probably should have been. Had he caught it, it would have sealed it. Instead, one more chance coming up on 4th down. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll run again with Harris. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
That's it, baby.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's taken down inside the 30.
Come on, fellas.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they'll indeed take a knee. On second down, this is Harris. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.